Hi guys, welcome to another Wednesday preview show. And Gord, we've got another special guest.
We've got Dodd. He's an absolute legend. Good, mate. We've been trying to get you. Mark and I have been trying to get you on for about 3 years now.
Yeah, I'm not one for the camera, but I said I'd give it a go this week. You know what I mean? Emac's been doing such a good job, or Owen as you call him, has been some good jobs for sports, but I thought I'd give it a whirl.
Oh, legend.
So a little insight there. As Dodd said, he works at Sportsbet with Owen, and do you do, or you can tell us just a quick little synopsis of what you do there?
Yeah, pretty much similar to Emac. I'm from Ireland as well, so between the two of us, we basically look after New South Wales racing.
Gives us Aussies a hope having you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Come over here taking your women and stuff, that's the way.
You can have our women as long as you can have the women as long as there's a few mistakes in the market. Well, it's an easy trade.
But yeah, between the two of us anyway, we look after all the metro racing in New South Wales. We do the RacingRant the futures, all that. And all the races, we found Gordon Mark at Little races a few years ago. Got on great, got chatting to them, and been good friends ever since. So
awesome.
Dodd, you got to talk slower, mate. You know, we're Australian, and you still have a little bit of an accent there.
Okay, I'll go a bit slower.
Okay. I think you've said you've done a lot of work, Dodd. So let's kick off talking about the track tomorrow. We've got a 4-meter rail at Kensington. It's currently a heavy 9. Is sort of track pattern one of your things, Dodd?
Yeah, pretty keen on track pattern actually.
Yep. Probably tell us what you think then.
Probably too much. Yeah, sort of whether it's on the rails or in the running line, I think it's kind of tomorrow. But I think you're going to want to be off the rails in the straight. That's kind of sort of how I read it. A lot of the races are 1,100 meter races, 1,200 meter races where it's just one turn.
Yeah.
So probably being wide isn't going to be that much of an issue, I wouldn't have thought.
Yep. Gord, see you same.
Okay, so you can be 3 wide, no cover. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not no cover, but 3 wide blending in, I think is okay. Like the way I treat Kensington is, I really like to find the strong horses. I don't think you can be sort of a speedy squib around Kensington. I find the straight is long enough to find out horses that have short sprints. So I want to get the stronger horses, who are finding the line.
Yeah, Matt, I normally play Kenzo where it's all right to be inside in the early races. Then later on in the program, it's advantageous to be coming down the middle. I'm, still leaning that way, but I kind of agree with Dodd that might actually come about earlier in the meeting than normal.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because we've got some interesting runners in the first. Let's kick it off. Race 1, Kenzo, 1,150 for fillies, 2-year-olds. La Girl is the favourite at 460. Giovanna Run next in line, $6 just got knocked off into 550. Escape Artist, similar price, 480, 550. And it's a pretty open race. Won't spend too much time going through every runner, but looking at the map, plenty of speed. They're saying fast tempo. Horse called Rani Factor, Emuji. So there's plenty of pace. Anyone want to debate that? Map, plenty of pace, 2-year-olds, all that sort of stuff, not important.
I'd probably debate it a little bit, just because it's 1,150 at Kenzo. A lot of these 2-year-olds have been running over 800-meter trials. And I think a lot of the horses and connections will be worried about getting the trip. So, for instance, the leader they have, like Amunji, barrier 14, 2 800-meter trials. I don't think they'll want to be going helter-skelter trying to run the trip. I think they'll come across and sit outside Rani Factor, and I think them control the speed, and I don't think they'll go too fast.
Okay, well, you can kick off, Dodds. You found some bets here in the first race?
Absolutely not. It's 2-year-old fillies maidens, so you can deal me wrong. Very tricky. I can understand La Girl being favourite, having been in having its first start in a Group 3, and even last start was in the Ballarat clockwise race, which again is much higher grade than this. But it's changed. David Hayes to Chris Lee's. It's had 2 trials where it's travelled really well on wet ground in both of them. But you possibly get involved at whatever it is, $4.50 from Barry first up on a heavy track. It's the trial form, although it travelled well in the trials, like it ran 3rd in the first trial, and you know the winner of that trial came out and started over 100-1 in a Newcastle pin, and then it ran 2nd in its last trial to Muscadel, who came out and ran 5th in Newcastle the other day. So the format of the trials is not hot. It's got a tricky map. It'll be wide and back in what I think might be a moderate tempo. It's not a bet for me, but I can't really find a bet on the weather.
How about yourself, Gord?
Yeah, I love Dodd's analysis there of the 3 La Girl, who's the only horse he's talking about so far, and he could suggest the lay, you know, if he thinks it's massive unders. The thing is, yes, it did run around in the right stuff down in Melbourne, and I don't mind the going to Leeds. I don't mind the booking in Nash. I didn't see enough in the trials. I think it's far too short with this setup. But yet again, this is a super tricky race. You know, I always give a tick to horses that sit OSL first up, particularly on sticky tracks. Number 1 did that, but my problem with that is I just don't think there's a lot of form in that race. I thought that was a really weak race, that Warwick Farm race. So I didn't really want to get involved in that price.
Certainly,
either.
There's no great sectionals or ratings for any horse in this race that's had a start. So it does open it up to the lightly raced horses or the first starters.
Yeah, I mean, and then you've got to be slightly cautious there because you're on a heavy track first up.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, even like number 2 Amungi, it's trialled twice at Kembla Grange and done something, but I'm never going to back a horse with a bush trainer and Winona Costin on it. But it's not. What I'm saying is I can't pen it. You know, I like to pen and get left with 1 horse, and it's not a scenario here. I did get a message off a very good trial watcher before I'd actually watched the trial, and he gave a really big tick to number 11, Giovanni Run, the Waller horse, number 11 there. And obviously J-Mac riding it and in the trial and in the run at a barrier 1, which means they'll be pretty proactive from the jump, and also the fact that this might be the race where it's not disadvantageous to be in that position. It's an interesting runner. Rani Factor, no, because it comes off that poor race where it came last, so no interest there.
Just on Gordo, on Rani Factor, it ran in the same race as the Top Escape Artist, and if you notice, the Rani Factor led on the rails that day at work. You couldn't go anywhere near the rails that day. It was all back and wide.
100% agree with you, which is why
I think you had something on it, Gord, didn't you? Or did you mention Rani Factor on debut or something?
I wanted to back it if it started its career in a provincial race. I didn't want to back it in that race. But Rani Factor actually is an anchor on Escape Artist.
Okay,
so I can go against that as well. So I'm starting to get rid of a lot of horses here. Party Lady could improve, but you've really not done enough for me.
Party Lady will be in Far North Queensland in 6 months.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a strong race either. And then I come finally to my on-top selection, which is
Ruby.
Yes.
Sorry, it cut out there. Which one was it?
My Girl Ruby.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, great. Real professional type that looks like it has the action that can get through the wet. I love the fact that it and another horse called Najma put a fair margin on the rest of the horses in that trial. That trial was on a sticky track. It was a dominant winner over significant margins previous to that over a synthetic 740-metre trial. I think the fact that Hugh Bowman rode it in its recent trial is a good tick to show that this horse might have ability. And the fact that Guns on it isn't a negative because Bowman's not riding on the card. So I've got number 4, My Girl Ruby on top. And I will have something on it at the odds just because we've mentioned so many question marks about the other runners in the race.
It's my bet as well.
Yeah, I mean, by process of elimination, haven't watched the trial yet on the 4, but It looked likely. The 11, I did sort of make some notes on its debut, complete forgive, and it has trialled really well. I just hate barrier 1 over that distance at Kenzo. I think that Tommy horse that we had a few months ago,
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, just swept around them so easily over this distance. I think it was. So, yeah, Tommy Gold. Yeah. So I just hate barrier 1, but it's likely. I thought, but okay.
Well, I can help with that horse. Yeah. Well, I can help with that horse from barrier 1.
Yeah.
You what?
Yeah.
You what?
I can help you with it because I've had a good look at it, and it's a complete head case. It like reefs and tears in its.
Yeah.
There's no early speed. It's going to be back like
okay.
And pulling and reefing and tearing. It's just a no bet until it gets.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good elimination factor. You guys have finished on the 4. I think it was. Yeah.
The Sherlock Holmes method.
Yeah. Those colours can find a decent horse too. Okay, that's a good chat about race 1. Race 2 this time is for the boys. Quickly have a look at the prices. Jimmy's Dream 320, Wild Wind 440, Gonna Matter about 550. Then you get double figures the rest. Quickly looking at the speed maps.
You lost him, Dave?
Yeah, Matty. It says his bandwidth is low.
Okay, I can hear you guys, and we'll just push on through.
We're recording all right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. So Gonna Matter is supposed to lead now that Carmelingo got rolled today. What did you do with that horse, by the way, Gort? Did you not back it because of the bias?
I thought it was a late today.
Yeah. Good on you. And Galerio, number 15, an emergency, supposed to go forward too. Looking at the map, Jimmy's Dream, who's the favourite, is going to be back at the and wide, basically. So how about you kick off this race, Gord?
I'm assuming you're asking me to kick that off, Matt?
Yeah. Yep, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, you've frozen on us, okay? So
okay.
I'll just keep on going, yeah. So, I don't know, I found it, it's sort of an interesting, I think this is a weak race. I'm not convinced about any of the horses here. Gonna Matter was in the wrong part of the track, but did all right to come second. But then we see that prompt thing come out last week and do absolutely nothing being in the right part of the track. So I think that sort of anchors a slight negative towards Gonna Matter. And then I'm looking at number 12, Wild Wind, the Hawks horse there, and I wasn't impressed with its trials at all. So there's 2 horses taking up a little bit of a percentage of the market that I'm not giving much of a chance to. Mm-hmm. And then when you look closely at Jimmy's Dream one, its run, it's actually had some quality. I disagree with Racing New South Wales Matt in the fact that they have it actually going back. This horse actually jumped well, got tagged, and then didn't really find a spot and had to make a mid-race move. Now, you could argue the fact that it was weakest through the line is a slight negative, but you can also say that you can completely forgive that scenario the way the race panned out, with jumping well, getting dragged, having to make an early move, and then maybe just slightly knocking up late with other horses being stronger through the line. They're really weak horses. I think that's a good enough run to be winning this race. And the interesting thing was that when Carmelingo was in the race, they had Adam on it and T. Clark on Jimmy's Dream, which I think is a bit of a lead that they think that Jimmy's Dream is a decent horse. Because although Carmelingo has been very disappointing, it does have some really short SPs. And the other one, are we still recording here, Matt? It's a bit confusing.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I can hear.
Yeah. And the other one I'm going to have something on just because I don't think this is a really strong metropolitan race, and that's number 13, Mr. Colourful. The times of that run first up were really good. There's a bit of a spruik on that Key Largo, which was a reasonable dominant winner over Mr. Colourful. This thing maps in the right position. It's going to go forward. It's got tactical speed. I'm tipping a G. Schofield horse here in a metropolitan race, which is rather interesting. But I thought there was some credit to its trials and a lot of credit to its first up run. So they're the two I'm entertaining, and probably will just back those two, which is Jimmy's Dream and Mr. Colourful.
Okay, Dodds?
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to Gord. I wouldn't be backing Jimmy's Dream, but I think Mr. Colourful looks a nice bet in the race. Just it'll go forward under minimal pressure, not have to do any work to get there, and she'll give a kick. Might be suspect the last 50, but that's why you're getting the price.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I haven't got too much. I think, yeah, he looked like he went a little bit slow last time on Mr. Colourful. That's what I thought, but as you said.
Yeah, well, I backed it last start, and I thought, definitely an over tag, but the other one was quite powerful going past it.
Yep, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at the third. I'll do the map first, shall we? The favourite Dancing Gidget is mapped to go back last. Miss Spiteful, second pick in the market. It goes forward with Lakia, Advanced Party, one back the fence. Duchess, Marisa, it pushes forward as well. Plenty of tempo, they say. And from a price point of view, as I said, Dancing Gidget's well, no, it isn't anymore. Yes, it is. $4.40 Dancing Gidget, Miss Spiteful $5, Duchess, Marisa $5.50. You can probably get some slightly better odds there. But Dodd, you can kick off race 3.
Good. Yeah, it's been decimated by scratchings this race. We've had like 5 scratchings in it. To be honest, I was kind of against Miss Spiteful. I know the horse really well, and you know she's pretty limited. She got top weight. But I think the top Lakia controlled the speed here. I was hoping Hyannis Court would stay in the race because it's a leader, and if either of these horses get crossed, Lakia or Miss Spiteful, they just spit the dummy. Typical Waterhouse style horses. But I actually think they'll get control, which means they're a small chance of winning. Dancing Gidget's trial enormous. It might have come back a better horse, but I just couldn't back a back marker in a slow tempo first up. So kind of leaves me with like Ruby Tuesday, who again has the same form line as Miss Spiteful, and Miss Spiteful has the SP over it. But I think they're just starting to figure out Ruby Tuesday a little bit here. It's well found $556, so probably couldn't have a play in it, but it'd be my idea of a good chance. And Compatriot, I thought would be $31, and I thought would be a nice roughie to come up 10-1. So yeah, the weakness in the Jess Maritza, coming off Canberra form, I just think this is too much of a grade.
Oh yeah, just because it's Mar and Eustace, they're going to be a little bit mad with that price. It's not showing anything yet. This is crazy. I was super keen in the bet in the race, and I was going to back number 11 Nishka, and it's been scrapped. So and by the way, wherever it pops up next start, it'll be a bet, guys, because it's going to open up the wrong price, and it's going to be a really good chance. Yeah.
Thursday, there we go.
It's running Thursday, Hawkesbury.
Yeah. So, and the weird thing was, I was loving it when all these other horses were in, because you had such good lines through Dancing Gidget and Owl Snip, etc., etc. Now, clearly, I have to have Dancing Gidget on top, but I'm not sure whether I can bet or not. Not necessarily saying riding from a wide barrier going back on this track first up Waller horse is a negative, actually. It could be a positive. It's trialled really well, and it's got the best form in this race by a country mile. But I got it on top. There's one I might entertain. I thought it was a hidden trial. Number 12, Satin Ruby. You notice this thing's first up in Australia. I think it's had 2 starts in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That was a really tricky Cummings trial. And you know how Anthony Cummings is, I've got 2 like tricky dicky trialers, T. Martin, who's since left us, and Anthony Cummings, and it was a tricky dicky trial, and might be a horse with a little bit of ability, and it's long odds in a super weak race. I can't pen 1 and 2 the Gay Waterhouse horses because of what Dave said, but I don't want to back them either.
Yeah, okay.
Tough race.
Yeah, tough race. Yeah, I sort of concurred with Dave there. Ruby Tuesday, it does have something about it, I think. Probably didn't see the best of it either first up, so I could maybe entertain Ruby Tuesday, I'd say. Let's have a look at race 4. I've just switched over to a new odds comparison site because Dynamic's down for me. But Darlev, 460 favourite in the next race from Above and Beyond. Al Mahiri at 550 as well. This is so $6. Temple Run is also $6, so a bit spread there. Mapping them, Dawn Too Good to lead with sanctions, just an average tempo. Looking at the key runners, yeah, so Darlib goes right back to near last, and Above and Beyond, one back on the fence, basically, next in line. So how about yourself, Gord? Do you want to kick off race 4?
It's a bit Sherlocky for me as well. I was against those that were in the market. Hold on, just bringing up my prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Above and Beyond with those connections, just the horse. Like, if you win, I mean, it's been running really honestly lately, but if you win, I'm happy to lose. D. Patelli, Louise Day, I'll cop it on the chin. Where were we? Al Mahiri. I mean, people are trying to say that this horse didn't get a run last start. Like, if you're in behind horses and there's like over a length in front of you and you're not checking off heels, you're pretty much doing as good as you can with a suck run. So I was disappointed with this run, but you know, it is J. Thompson, National Willer. They can probably improve second up, but I it's not a horse I could entertain backing. And then Darla, but is this a horse or not? Why are people saying this is a horse? I have no idea. What's it done?
What has it done? Yeah, look, it's a fair question. What has it done? And it's what is it, 7th up or something tomorrow? It's had plenty of racing. Maybe more.
So look, I mean, I'm against that as far as the percentage of the market it's taking up. I thought it was, wasn't it? Hold on, I'm just bringing some other stuff up here now. Yeah, I'm not giving a big tick off times for that previous run, and I suppose you could argue it was in the wrong part of the track and its honest little thing, but if you noticed, I mark really negatively horses that have done something being on the fence at Canterbury. And that was its start previously. And before that, I mean, Christ, couldn't even get the job done in Scone. So I'm not, you know, I'm not seeing metropolitan form in this horse. I did have a question sent to me about This Is So. There's some people that are really keen on it.
375 days, Anthony Cummings, your tricky trialer. What did you see there?
Didn't like the trials. I didn't think they were tricky. I thought it was disappointing. The thing is, it's probably the only horse in the race that doesn't have as many convictions as the others. And to be honest, there's 2 people that have asked me about it. They're winners. So not for me. Military Academy, you know, well, I suppose you got J-Mac on board. It was an all right run last start, but at least you come back from Saturday Metropolitan grade, but you're G White, so I'm not backing you Metropolitan. Now, this is one that was sort of on the fence or maybe not on the fence. I couldn't make up my mind when I was watching the replay, and that was number 9 in Vinciano. It actually will be a bet for me. You're assumed on a heavy track, okay, which means I can forgive it. I can see Dave there laughing in the background. You're drawn inside. You can take a position on this occasion. If you notice, first up to second up, there's a dramatic improvement with this horse. It's never come a place first up. And second up, it's actually had 2 solid wins. Another massive tick as far as this program is concerned to proving you can run to Kenzo, because Kenzo is a horses for courses track. And this horse has had 1 run at Kenzo for a win. That win was against Joining and U2 over the 1550 on a good track. So I'm not sure it can handle the stickiness, but it's only ever had the 1 run on a heavy, and that was the bog track at Canterbury where it wasn't suited first up. I can see dramatic improvement in it. So I'm backing number 9 Vinciano, and the other one I'm going to back is number 3 Manhattan Miss. It's trialled really well. I'm looking for War to be on an upward, on the upward curve at the moment, and it's got runs in its career where it just owned this lot, and also has shown that it can handle the wet. So I was wondering, I'll just bring up that track run of it as well. see the track run. Okay, got beaten 2.5 lengths at Kenzo by by Signore Fox and Skyboy. So people will say, "Oh, 7th of 12 can't handle the track." I'd suggest against that kind of quality of opposition, that's a tick mark as well. So they're two at over $10 that I think can do something, seeing as though the rest of the market for me have question marks.
Okay, Dodd?
Interesting race. I actually enjoyed doing this one. I thought Almahiri would be a better second up. It's won by 4 lengths at the track previous. Nash has had 1 ride on it for one win. I thought there was, I ran 9th of 9 the other day, but I thought there was merit in the run. It just peaked on the run first up at the 200 meter mark. So I thought a little bit fitter for that, and I think he handles the track. Darleb, I was trying to
hold on a sec, Dottie, you're going to have to pause for a second. We've got Crookie on here. Mark Crookshank. Yeah, I know. Like, this isn't a G-up, guys. This is serious. How you going, mate?
I'm good. I'm just finished having a look at lovely Ram at Kensington tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Do you have one tip for anybody?
Yeah.
It won't be posted for a couple of hours, so you can back it before it's up.
That's fine. I thought, what's it called?
Go on, Crookie. We're live here. Savine. Oh, backing a horse off PR last start.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what the thing is? It's going to PR again today because it's probably going to be 1 out, 1 back. I'll give you a buzz back. See you, mate. Bye.
Crookie for his regular Tuesday night phone call to Gord just
Well,
to get a ticket.
Yeah.
He wants the ticket approval.
Where was I? So I was channeling my inner Mark Lambourne here on Darleb because it's a 3-year-old coming back from 3-year-old grade. It's getting the golden switch away from barrier 1. But I still couldn't find it. I know.
That
was funny.
The one I actually didn't mind. The one I didn't mind here, and this is going to be very left field, is Crafty Tycoon. It's I know it's had a bit of a break, but it's 4th up. It won 4th up Kenzo last prep. It's Jay Collett inside barrier. There's a chance it doesn't handle the wet. They never really run it on wet tracks, but I think it was just a complete forgive run last start. And, $21, and you don't want to be kicking yourself the next day when you see Jay Collett pop. So probably back Almahiri and say Crafty Tycoon.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'll have my 2, and you can have your 2. $1 billion.
Oh, easy. Like, good. I'll tell you something. I've got.
Are you shaking on it or not?
It's going to be a COVID thing.
I have a spreadsheet on my computer called Never Ever, and it's all the horse. Anytime I'm never going to back a horse again, or is never to be backed, I enter a horse's name in the sheet.
Manhattan Mist.
I think Manhattan Mist and Invinciano are both in there.
Well, Invinciano must have gone in just after the last start, did it?
I just don't think it finds anything. I don't think it finds anything under pressure anymore. I don't think it wants to be a risk.
Well, this is a great bet. This is a great bet. And we've got about the right percentage of the market there too, Dodd. So.
Right, so we've got Dodds has, so you've got Manhattan Mist and Crafty Tycoon, is that right?
No, I've got Manhattan Mist and who's that? Invinciano. Yeah. And Dodd's got Almahiri and Crafty Tycoon.
Okay, sensational.
Easy cash.
You guys can put up some head-to-heads on the Sportsbet website or something.
The good thing with betting with Dodd is I'll get paid too.
Yeah. Well, he can just put up some head-to-heads on the website.
You can too.
I'll do a manual head-to-head. Easy.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Race 5. 1,800 meters. Crookie's horse here, who he just gave us a little tip for. I think you were declaring it last start, Gord, so well done to you.
It was a magnificent result, but it was out of barrier 1 at Canterbury, so it was an easy bet to have.
Yeah, so that's Savine. It's 370. Secretly next in line, about 420, 440. Picaro, Chocolatier, and Tochi all around the $6 mark. Won't go further into it. So Tochi is supposed to push up with an average tempo from Dylan's Romance. Chocolatier, 1 back the fence. Savine this time, well, look, midfield on the fence again, they're saying. So I'll throw over to you, Dodd.
Yeah, I thought Dylan's Romance and she are both on the widest barriers, so they'll cross and lead. I think this will actually be one of the good enough. Slovenia had the PR of all PRs the other day. Couldn't possibly entertain it at $3.50. I don't think it's much of a horse, to be honest with you.
Well, I noticed that. Well, I suppose, yeah. Oh, sports better top odds there, Dodd. Hey?
Are we? I'm trying to hold it in for a bit.
yeah.
A bit early to be pushing it. But anyway, yeah, I just thought like there's a 3-year-old here that it looks a one-pace type secretly, but it's had the run at the trip. It's coming back from 3-year-old grade. Going to get a tempo to aim at here, and I just thought it looked, the 3-year-old third up looks a bit more upside than Slovenia. So I was going to lean sort of its way, and even Picaro, like J-Mac's ridden about 5 of these horses at last start, and he's picking Picaro, which is a good sign of intent. He's ridden it once for a win. So although it misses the kick at the start, if it has the tempo to aim at, it'll be a chance as well. But I'd be happy to, like if I'm playing bookie, I'd be laying Slovenia and keeping Picaro and secretly.
Well, you are going to be playing bookie, so good luck.
Yeah. I thought Chocolatier is like $6.50. I think it has absolutely none.
Okay, what about Tochi? Is it probably another run or two away from producing anything sort of from last prep, or was that
It's definitely going to improve, but I think the wrong track and distance for it. I think it'll be better 1900 meter Canterbury.
Yeah.
1800 meter Kenzo will probably just see him out.
Okay. How about yourself, Gord?
I only looked at 3 runners because I thought there were only 3 chances in the race. It is interesting, the J-Mac booking of Picaro, but I've got no opinion of the horse. So I looked at 9 Tochi, 10 Savinia, and 11 secretly. I thought they were the only 3 chances in the race. And then when I did the vid of the last Tucci, because I give like a big tick for sitting OSL sticky track first up, so I can see dramatic improvement out of it. But its form is around sort of more tight turning tracks than Kenzo.
It did get a couple of leaders tracks too, I think, back end of that last campaign.
So those 2 Canterbury wins, it was complemented position in run as well. So I ended up putting it in the bin, so I'm left with 2, which is Savinia and Secretly. And I thought that I was going to super duper find Secretly really strong.
Yeah.
Just would have liked to have seen a bit more in that last run.
Just noticed it was 21 days leading into the last start, and then it's now 25 days. That's a bit odd.
It's the lightly raced one, as Dodd said, 3-year-old on the up, third up this preparation. There's a fair amount of ticks there, but I had written in my notes that I wanted to go up from 1,800 metres. So maybe the 3 weeks off, I can excuse the 1,800. But look, I pretty much think one of the 2 wins, and it's up to you guys out there what you want to say. Like, do you want to put the pen through Savinia because it PR'd? I don't think you can because this race is so weak.
Yeah, and 7-day backup versus 25 days secretly, so it's going to keep it nice and firm, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll try and play in the race. I'll back both of them. I think it's a reasonable bracket, but there might be a significant firm on one and a little bit of a blow on the other. And I think if you can pick the top of the market, your bracket might look pretty good percentage-wise.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a tricky little race. Yeah, I think Kochi is an interesting runner. It does look suited. Well, but not particularly suited because it might be one away, but if it was sort of if the trainer had sort of had it a little bit soft leading into the last start, it could really come out and improve. But
another massive point there, Matty, is that if we establish that it's all right to be
mounting yard mail for Tochi too. Yeah.
No, I'm going for like track bias here.
Yeah, that too.
I have it leading, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting.
I haven't seen what Glenn said about his previous comment on Tochi about whether it was ready or not, so I can't remember.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the 6th race. Legay Soleil, 250, Peace of Mind at $6. Lady Loves to Gamble won't be running because it ran today, didn't it? Bar none. is next in line, about $9 deductions to come out. Okay, Dalmatia Prince and Statuescally, they're noted leaders. Fast early tempo. Zorkanig supposed to go one back on the fence from Galahad's Quest, one out, one back. Legal Salal, who was on an outside sort of track at Kembla, I believe it was in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Kembla. It's look, they're just the map makers put it in 3 wide, midfield, no cover at that point, but there's plenty. It looks like the fast tempo, it should be able to get in, no problem. Dodds, I'll ask you a question about the favourite. It was a bit of a hype horse leading into the Canberra win, and it looked a bit awful, but it came out and was quite impressive. How do you sort of weigh up Legal Salil?
Yeah, it's interesting actually you say that, because I thought the Canberra one was a shocker.
Yeah.
But it did actually rate okay on our stuff.
Okay.
And then when they hit the Kembla, even at the 300-meter mark at Kembla, I still thought, there's a chance this horse is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And then it sort of kicked into a new gear down the outside. It's going to get a wet track again, and it goes from Chad Lever to J-Mac. It's going to, I'm tipping J-Mac finds cover somewhere in the run. I think and the open trip looked perfect. It just looks to have everything in its favour. I don't know if I'm going to be with it long term, but I think for this race, it looks. I think it looks good actually. I think it's. I wouldn't say a moral, but I think it's about as close to a moral you're going to get on this card.
Mm-hmm.
Are you allowed to say what you've priced it, Dov?
Yeah, I've got it shorted from the market. I've got it $2.38, so I got it 11 to 8.
Okay.
In the old. Okay. And did any others take your eye in this race? So you just want to. That's good enough, isn't it?
Bar none. Always sort of runs a good race like Canterbury, but then can never really back it up. It's not a bad horse, and a bit of time. I thought Dalmatia Prince. I don't know how they're going to ride it. Like I see the speed map that the stewards released have it leading on the rail.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes back from a wide gate. I'm just not sure how they're going to ride it with the claimer on. But yeah.
Well, there's only one instruction you give to claimers.
Lead.
Lead at all costs.
Yeah.
I don't care if you whip the thing. You don't have the ability to ride any other way.
Yeah, Lady Herbert's probably a place chance as well. Open trip and no weight on its back. Sort of ground to the line the other day.
How about yourself, Gord, for this race?
So want to lay this favourite.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I hate it when they hit a flat spot. I love. What can I say? The thing is that this race is just shit, man. So it's the young horse on the up, with dominant win last start. But Christ, I wouldn't touch that price with a 10-foot pole. I mean, if it got out to $3.50, I wouldn't back it.
Yeah.
I think it'll jump between $3.50 and $4, Gord, for what it's worth.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't be taking my money. The thing is, Dodd, with that assumption is you got to find the market somewhere else, and I'm just not seeing it. So,
I can't see it. The horse with the best rating is his home ground off 600 days. Can anyone tell us from the trials if it's got anything?
Yeah, what's the trial? I didn't like it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay.
And
It'd be a big ask. It'd be a big ask at the distance too, wouldn't it?
So what did I look at?
I
went looking for number 2 Dalmatian Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none PR the other day, but it got the job done, and it's third up. There's a few ticks there. Baker getting later on to preparation.
Yeah.
Put CJ Collett riding that pretty well. I mean, as you can tell, I'm not betting. I even gave number 4 Statuescally a chance. I didn't mind its run at the track. So if you have a look at its run at the track, came third to short margins, McCormack, Showminder. This is a super weak race. I won't be betting in the race.
Okay. Yep. Look, I'm definitely leaning to the favourite there for sure. I'd love to get $4 if you said that, so I'll keep my eye on it. But I think off the bit, but picked up in good late sectionals. It might just have too much talent maybe for this because you just can't find a bet.
Definitely a chance that that's the case.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Race 7. I believe our horse Best Stone is going to race tomorrow unless they scratch it again.
Our horse. Somebody
Well,
said,
no, we were talking
"Hey,
about it
Don,
last.
that sounds like Matt might be keen." Eh?
No, we were talking about it last week a little bit, so that's why it's ours.
We'll have a good chat about it.
Yeah, so interesting horse. Best Stone. I'll just go off the tab prices. $4. Sally's Day and Meditate at $6 from So Wicked. $7.50. It's a Kiwi, I believe, on debut. Is that So Wicked? Yeah, on debut in Australia. So that's next in line. You start to get out to double figures. Mapping Best Stone will sit outside lead, they're saying, from Meditate, who pushes up. Hibiscus Lady holding the fence. First in the market, Sally's Day, midfield, buried a bit. Yeah. So how about yourself, Gord? You can kick off race 7.
Okay, yeah, well, it's a real. I think it's probably the best race on the card, to be honest.
Interesting card compared to what they've given us the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. This one, it's a bit
the whole
better,
program tomorrow is better than what we've had to put up with the last few Wednesdays. But I mean, you know, I'm quite happy to put up with Canterbury, Matt.
Yeah,
An absolute fill-up. Well, if we could race at Canterbury every day of the year, I'd be happy. What am I saying? Giving nothing down the bottom any hope.
Okay.
Where I'm giving Mediate no hope. I thought it was complemented with the run it got on that occasion. I think it's taking up the wrong percentage of the market, and then you've got a junior Metropolitan rider in C Lever on it with Nutman there. You take up 14-15%. I'm happy to say you've got none. Le Cosmo, oh Jesus Christ, just one of these Snowden numbers that just keeps on running round and round and round and round. Didn't really like its run last start, but I suppose it did the start before, come off a Saturday Metropolitan win. That's no. I'm very Sherlocky all program.
Yeah.
And Best Stone, I wasn't massively impressed with the trials. So I know the last one was on synthetic, but I thought it was pretty weak. Now sometimes with trainers, particularly Thompson, he gets a good trial out of it, knows he's got the horse spot on, and then doesn't really worry about the next trial. But
yeah,
it was particularly poor. And then another horse that I've got to give it negative off its wins because it actually mapped in the right spot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But could be the best horse. So it's one I will entertain backing, taking into consideration those negatives. Hibiscus Lady, well, no, not for me. And then my old girlfriend, Matty, who, Jesus Christ, when it was running in that race at Wyong, I was just like sending people to all tabs in Sydney.
Which one was that?
Sally's Day. Sally's Day. Sally. You're the one that comes off a listed run and a Saturday Metropolitan run. And if you can forgive 2 things, this thing might be an absolute Monty. And that is, Jesus, what can we say? A flop last start.
Okay. Yeah.
And a wet track failure. So if you rate it on its first up run and second up run, it'll just be winning this race. I actually like the fact that King's off for McAvoy on, and if you notice on that heavy track at Rose Hill, most of that margin was actually made up over the last 50-100 metres.
Okay.
And another weird thing is too, I know Rose Hill, although we had that rated as a 6.7 or whatever, sometimes Kenzo, even when it's heavy, the times are not heavy times. Do you know what I mean? Like it still holds up pretty well because of the drainage.
Yeah, that meshy stuff under the surface, yeah.
And sorry, the second negative there was Gerald Ryan late preparation, but I love the fact that they've given her 4 weeks off, so it's like I can sort of counteract that fourth up G Ryan thing with the freshen up, and I like the back in 50 metres. And to be honest, I've got a bit of a horn for this horse, and I'm not sure that it's done enough badly yet for me to put it in the bin.
Yep.
And so that's it. I'm probably. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely backing number 4 Echo Gem as well. So you went for a spell off Saturday Metropolitan runs. You've been running against some really good stuff. If you notice at Rose Hill, it came second to a horse called Lashes and beat a horse called Switch to a Saturday Metropolitan grade. This is Wednesday. It was really pushed out in the trial, which means that the fitness is there. Obviously, it wasn't a stylish trial. And this horse is a fresh horse as well. So I'm definitely betting in the race. I'm backing 2 horses because of all the negatives I've said about the others. And that is 2 Sally Stone, 4 Echo Gem.
Okay. Dodd.
Good analysis, Gord. Thought that was pretty. I don't think Best Stone. There's a good chance Best Stone doesn't even get across to OSL. I thought Echo Gem is going to kick up here. Meditate definitely won't let Best Stone lead. So I think Best Stone's got a real issue on the map here. Like the stewards have released the map saying it's OSL. It's still going to be OSL first up in a fast tempo at the Kenzo. Like it's just in hell, I reckon, the way it's mapped. So I'd be pretty keen to lay it at whatever it is, $4.
But taking that into consideration, it is the lightly race one that might have more ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking what's going to firm and what's going to drift. And the big guys in the market, when you see a horse that's first up for 138 days, well, like days since last run is probably their biggest factor in their models. Like if you haven't had a recent run under the belt,
I tell you what, wasn't I loving that on Sunday? Hey, Wanda, you little beauty. Yeah. Because you know what was awesome about that, Matty, is you knew it was going to blow because, as Dodd said, they're obsessed with that variable, and 100%. If you can spot the one that's an exception to the rule, because that horse had awesome first up form. It's fill up time.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you wouldn't believe the amount of times I go, like, it's first up for 6 months, and I'll just like leave a comment going, complete moral, bet late, and then you see the drift. It goes $3 out to $5. It gets to 50, and you're like, no, I'm too scared.
Oh no, Tony, no, just start banging away. You know what I love? I love drifts to $5.50. That's the first price I take. Then it's out to $7.50. I'm back it again.
So
anyway,
when someone asks you what price you take, I got the $9 at the end. Yeah.
No, I always say the lowest price, man, just because it's funnier.
But the way I'm looking at this card is I don't really want to be backing anything first up because I'm tipping anything that's first up off a break is going to drift. So I'm trying to back horses that have had the run, you know what I mean? So a horse with a run under the belt. Sally's definitely the best horse in this race. You can forgive her last start. Coming out of 3-year-old grade, just got too far back in the ruck on a run bias. It was mad rails and run that day at Rose Hill, so it was back in. The third behind for 2s is definitely the best piece of form in this race. None. It was horrible last start. And I thought the danger was so wicked off the trial. You kind of have to treat it as a first starter. It's first up, but it's first up Waller and J-Mac, and there's been some early money around for it. So, you just have to treat it as a first starter, and I'm a bit wary of it.
It's definitely not on the roulette because that was a decent trial too. It was real sneaky, and then the booking of the jockey just sort of like.
I think looking at its form, it looks like it gets back and hit the line, but the trial it led. So that's a pretty good little pearl there. You guys have spoken about for years on the rant, horses that start jumping to the front.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't like that shit it was running around in New Zealand. Like it hardly was aiming at the clouds there, was it?
No, not at all. No. Yeah, okay.
And it didn't just beat horses in that trial, guys. Like it beat Sambro and, it beat decent horses. The thing is, I'm just never backing it. Barrier 1, this is going to be more like a barrier trial. Yeah, he might show a little bit of intent early, but he's not going to be aggressively trying to take runs on this kind of horse.
I thought Sally's Day was a bet. I think it'll jump a little bit bigger than it is because there's no money for it. And I just the only sort of caveat with that horse is that it misses the kick.
Yeah.
Which that Sally's Day.
Yeah.
You know, Echo Gem's got for 2 form as well.
I think Echo Gem is in the spreadsheet.
Wouldn't surprise me with 15 starts for 2 wins when you're a Gay Waterhouse horse that's been bashed up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a nice little race to keep an eye on. What's happening with that Soul Star? It's got some decent form. It's nominated for Brisbane as well. I noticed it's a big price, about $30. So keep an eye on that. I'll have something on it if they do run in Sydney.
It's Az's horse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll ask Az, but Tommy Berry booked from Barry 14. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it's got absolutely none.
Okay.
I told him as soon as he brought it up here, like, what are you trying to run it over 11 and 1200? It's a 1,000-metre squib.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Anyway.
Well. Anyway, we'll see. Dodd, have you got a best bet or two you want to put your money down on and your reputations on the line?
Oh, this is big, mate. This is big.
Yeah, no, I'll just keep it simple with the Gay Soleil. I think you bet late. I think you might get $3.54. There'll be some people laying it at the current quote, and that's the bet.
You make sure that happens, please. That'd be great.
And Matty, what's your best of the day?
I'm with Le Gay Soleil.
Oh, okay.
I'm not confident about the drift because I just can't see anything else that people will like. But anyway, I'll be keeping an eye on it. That's for sure. When to bet, I'm not sure.
I'll do my best on tomorrow's show. I'll just say that,
awesome.
I'll.
And you guys have a good head-to-head in about race 3 or 4, I think. So it'll be interesting to watch.
A nice little match up there with 2 horses each.
Yeah.
It makes it a bit fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, Dodd, that was awesome, mate. It's good to have another young bloke from the corporates making his way through the game. So it's exciting.
Don't know about young, mate, but I'm doing my best.
You look good. You look good. I'm all washed up. Gord's gone.
Well, this is so. I just couldn't believe, Matty. I couldn't believe that meeting we had the other day. Like, you know,
you still look so bad.
Well, no. Mark was sitting there saying, we've got the young guy on board, Dodd, Matt Taylor, and then we had this meeting the other day, and Matt goes, "Oh no, that's not my generation. That's
we're talking about 19-year-olds and stuff on Instagram." Yeah. Okay, no, that was great. That was a good show, actually. It was nice and quick, but it's actually they've given us a good card for the first time in a month or so. So I sort of enjoyed that one.
I think a lot of things will change tomorrow morning, guys. There's going to be a few scratchings here.
True.
Scratchings, and also there'll be a track update as well, which will be interesting.
Exactly. All right, that was great. Thanks, guys. We'll top up show tomorrow, and thanks again to Dodd.
Thanks, Dodd.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure, mate.